Greetings and happy Aquarius full moon. Today we have the full moon exact at 16 degrees 59 minutes Aquarius, and the time of the exact full moon is 12:54 a.m. Pacific time. So we also have with this full moon some very interesting planetary alignments. I spoke to this yesterday. I also spoke about it earlier this week in my daily videos. And really, we are looking at an energy that is kind of like a lock, finding the key to a lock that unlocks new worlds of possibility, but then kind of not knowing what to do with those possibilities because you've never seen them before. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Saturday, August 9th. So, talking today about this full moon and the full moon energies, and there's so much going on that I can't really break it down into detail, but I'll try here. We'll see what comes through. So first of all, we've got the moon opposite the sun. So the moon in Aquarius and that full moon with the sun in Leo. So we began this moon cycle with a Leo new moon, and that means that this full moon is revealing something to us because full moons illuminate. So it's revealing something to us about self-expression, about creativity. And if you work consciously with moon cycles and set your intentions and consciously plant the seeds of the outcomes you want to see when the moon is new, then at the full moon, you have that opportunity to see something you couldn't see before. So we've got that energy, and that is essentially every full moon illuminates, it reveals, right? Something is coming to fruition, or there's a possibility of having that ability to see something we couldn't see before. This full moon is in Aquarius, and that Aquarian energy is about new possibility, getting outside the box. So, Aquarian energies of breaking free of old molds, accessing thinking that you have not tapped into previously. So, finding those, ideally, the working with this energy, you can access new solutions, new possibilities, tapping into those infinite energies that offer a lot of possibility, but some of them good, right? So we want to tap into the good ones. And so we have that full moon Aquarian energy of shakeup, of freedom, of authenticity, of change. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, the planet of earthquakes and lightning bolts. So there's that sense of things shifting and shifting in directions we can't really predict. So that's the energy that this full moon brings. And at the same time, we are in a tightening uh, double sextile with the outer planets that I speak about quite a bit on my YouTube channel because it's so significant. The outer planets move very slowly, and when they align like this, it's extremely unusual. So this particular set of planetary, the way that the outer planets are in waxing relationship to each other hasn't happened in 500 years, at least 500 years. And this, so every 500 years, they kind of come into this more or less alignment. But as far back as I have looked, we haven't really had it being as in this exact double sextile the way we are this time. So a cycle that happens every 500 years, and this particular one, every 500-year alignment is much more potent than it has been in, at least at least going back 1,000, 1,500 years. I believe, I can't remember now. It might have been 500, or the one 500 years before that, where there was something closer to what we're having today. But the point is that this is very unusual. It's very noteworthy, and it brings in the energy also of support, of activation, of seeing a vision for the future and getting our our little ship pointed in the direction of the future we want. So, in other words, there's huge creative possibilities here. Obviously, we can see that the world is in flux. Things are changing. It's really unclear sort of what direction everything is going to go, regardless of, what you personally might feel attached to or believe is important. We all have that experience of sort of this, like, things are changing and it's unpredictable where exactly it will go. And that is in part because each of us has a role to play, and this full moon highlights the energy of the individual, the power of the individual, the power of each of us in our humanness. So all the things that little people can do, so that those are being highlighted with this full moon, being able to see your personal way through, right? What are the things you can do that open those doors to whatever it is that feels really important to you? And I know that for many people, there are lots of things that feel problematic right now or feel important to address in terms of solutions. And obviously, you as an individual can't solve all of them. And it certainly is not even possible for you to do that. So you shouldn't put that kind of expectation on yourself or feel like you're not doing enough, right? You only have to do what you have to do. And so your participation, your authenticity, your own personal, like, what feels like freedom to you is a clue to how you can participate in shaping this creative energy and helping to create the future that feels important and true and right for you. So so we have those outer planet alignments. Then we have also two inner planets that are also activating those outer planet, that potent, very, very, very rare alignment of those three outer planets. And one is Mars. Mars is an inner planet, so it moves faster, but it's slow enough that for a few days here, it's in an opposition to Saturn and Neptune. So we've got Mars in Libra opposing Saturn and Neptune in Aries. And Mars is the ruler of Aries. So it's speaking to the energy of Saturn and Neptune, which are in a conjunction, almost exact conjunction this year. It will be exact next year. But those two energies very much operating together, Saturn and Neptune. And so Saturn is constriction, Neptune is dreams and spirituality and myth and mythology and imagination. So constriction, but also that is also accessing or opening the door to crystallization, right? So the making real of something that has previously been a dream or imagination. And so we have that Saturn energy coming in saying what seemed impossible before is in the process of becoming real, right? So now that can be your worst fears or your greatest hopes and dreams or everything in between. So, in other words, how we participate in this energy is hugely important. Mars opposing those planets, that energy I just described, means that to activate those energies through our actions, through our choices, through the decisions we make, we need to think about balance. So Mars in Libra seeks balance. It has that willingness to let go of all of the things we might be attached to in order to create some of them. So not being so attached helps us in the process of actually getting closer to where we want to be, making compromises, focusing on cooperation, listening to other sides of the story and other perspectives, and bringing in that balance. It does not mean being a doormat, which is another possibility here, right? Right? We could allow ourselves to be bowled over, but instead we need to take a stand and say, no, when I silence myself, that is not real balance. When I silence myself, I am not contributing to the whole in the way that I need to for my own well-being as well as the greater good. So we all need to participate. We all need to help support that experience of balance by showing up as our true selves, in our authenticity, in our vulnerability, in our willingness to make mistakes as we figure it out. And that's an important part of this as well. And then we also have Mercury in Leo opposing Pluto, one of those outer planets. So Mercury is in a trine to Saturn and Neptune, in a sextile to Uranus, in a sextile to Mars. And Mercury, of course, is retrograde in Leo, the sign of self-expression. Mercury, the planet of communication, of thinking, of ideas, and how we process information. So, in that sign of self expression, needing to again speak your truth, be authentic, be vulnerable, not be afraid or shy away from sharing your experience, your truth, your perspective, all of those things. So, in other words, this full moon is activating or goes along with all of these energies that are kind of coagulating at once or organizing themselves in ways. So, coming back to the idea that I put out there in the beginning of this video, which is that idea of being a key that opens a lock. And so, if you can imagine a doorway that maybe you didn't even realize was something that could open, right? It just seemed like a barrier or a boundary. And this full moon is about you suddenly are handed the magic key to open that door. And what you do with that is up to you. So you can open that door and you can see what is in there, which is going to be a lot of things, right? It's going to be scary because it's unfamiliar. It's going to be filled with creative possibility, so very exciting. It's going to be a whole new territory, a whole new set of possibilities awakening or opening up. And we all have a choice in how we respond to what is appearing, what is being revealed or illuminated around this full moon. So once we use that magic key to open that lock and things are being revealed that we may not have the words for yet, right? Because it's brand new, it is unfamiliar, but we have new energy to work with, new possibilities, new situations and circumstances appearing. And so again, what we do with those is up to us. You can go, whoa, I don't know how to deal with that. That's unfamiliar. I'm just going to pretend it's not there and shut the door and pretend I never found this magic key. Or you can go, wow, look at what is here. Let me get to know it. let me step in bit by bit and explore the possibilities that are appearing in my life, in the world around me, the ways that things are shifting and changing and opening up in ways that have not happened before. And what I'm going to do with that, how I'm going to respond to that, is something that we get to explore, we get to play with, we get to discover as we learn how to work with these new energies. And the actual double sextile between those outer planets is currently getting closer and closer and closer. So between August 25th and September 11th of this year, 2025, that will be the closest approach for this year of this exact alignment. And it's within half a degree, all three planets within half a degree of one another, with also having Saturn there in the mix, which Saturn will not be in the mix of the alignments next year. But those three outer planets will continue to have this alignment for the next, well, through the end of this decade. Sometimes in the year they will be closer to exact, other times in the year they will be farther away from exact. But this is the year that Saturn is involved. And Saturn is, again, it's about crystallization, how things consolidate, how things begin to become tangible, begin to form as things that we will work with over time. So that, the sort of initial coming together of the energy to begin to reveal what it is ultimately going to become. So really, really powerful times right now. There's a lot of opportunity for creative input, for decision making, for stepping up and standing out and saying what you want, speaking your truth, uh, claiming what's important to you. Some of that is very personal, right? It's just getting clear about, let me think about what's really important to me. If there are possibilities showing up that haven't existed before, how can you revisit your vision for the future if you expand your sense of what is possible? And so working with these energies and making decisions and stepping into our authenticity, our freedom, our sense of possibility, and working creatively, working toward the future we actually want, and not just being in fear or reaction mode, but shifting into like, let's actively, proactively work on building and creating the future we imagine, because again, the dream can become real with these energies. So powerful full moon, important energies to understand. Yesterday in my video, I shared about truth and the complexity of truth and the deeper layers of truth and multifaceted nature of truth. So if you want to deep dive into some profound thoughts, watch my video from yesterday. But maybe today gives you a little bit more of a tangible understanding of sort of what's going on and how you can think about it. I do share about all of these energies and every day in my self-care, astrological self-care videos here on this channel. So thanks for being here. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button to support my work and cheer me on. I so, so appreciate you. And I also have readings available at astrologyheals.com, as well as a member site where you can sign up for a free or paid supporter at the link is in the description for this video. So go expand the text for the description of this video and learn more about me and what I'm up to. Thanks again for being here. I will see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self-care.